Riki is a sheep that lives at the edge of a forest with his parents. Riki has a good friend called Dani. Every day, Riki and Dani go into the forest to play. They spend the whole day in the forest and return home in the evening. Let's go play. One day, a wolf came into the forest. All the sheep were very afraid to go into the forest. I have to leave the house quickly. Riki's parents did not allow Riki to leave the house. However, Riki did not listen to his parents. He wanted to go to Dani's house. On the way to Dani's house, Riki met the wolf. The wolf started chasing Riki. Riki ran as fast as he could to Dani's house. When he reached there, Dani quickly let him in. "Riki, why are you looking so pale?" asked Dani. "I was chased by the wolf, but I managed to get away," gasped Riki. "Aren't you afraid of the wolf?" Dani asked. "Why should I be afraid of him? I can run faster than he can. Come on, Dani, let's go play outside," said Riki. "I don't want to go out of the house. I am afraid of the wolf," Dani replied. "Trust me." "You are such a coward, Dani. Look at me. I reached your house safely, didn't I? Trust me, the wolf cannot run as fast as we can," said Riki. At last, Dani agreed to go out and play with Riki. They were both playing happily at the edge of the forest when the wolf came. The wolf started running towards Riki and Dani. Riki saw the wolf. "Run, Dani! The wolf is coming!" shouted Riki at the top of his voice. They ran as fast as they could back to Dani's house. They dared not look back. When they reached Dani's house, Dani quickly shut the door. Dani was looking pale. His whole body was shaking. "I told you before that the wolf cannot run fast," Riki said while laughing loudly. "You are right, Riki. The wolf cannot run fast," agreed Dani. Riki and Dani could not stop talking and laughing. They were happy thinking about how slow the wolf was. "I am so bored, Dani." "What are you going to do?" After talking for a while, Riki started to get bored. "Dani, I have an idea. Why don't we play a trick on the wolf?" suggested Riki. "What's your plan?" asked Dani. "First, I will walk near the forest so that the wolf will chase me. Then, I will run around the forest. When I am tired of running, I will go back to your house," explained Riki. "All right, you go first," said Dani. "I will open the door for you then." Riki went near the forest. When the wolf came out of the forest and started to chase him, Riki quickly ran back to Dani's house. "Ha ha ha!" laughed Riki. It was such fun to play a trick on the wolf. Dani enjoyed watching the wolf chase after Riki. Now, it was Dani's turn to play a trick on the wolf. Even though he was afraid, he still went out. "Ah! Wolf!" Dani walked at the edge of the forest. When the wolf appeared, Dani ran as fast as he could. The wolf was very angry. Dani reached his house safely. He truly enjoyed playing a trick on the wolf. Dani's mother was resting in her room. She came out when she heard Danny laughing loudly. Danny's mother was surprised to see Riki in their house. "What have you done? What have you done, Danny?" asked Mrs. Betty. Danny dared not reply. He was afraid and bowed his head. "How did you get to my house, Riki? Aren't you afraid of the wolf?" asked Mrs. Betty. "I am not afraid of the wolf. The wolf cannot run fast. He cannot catch me," Riki replied proudly. "We should not look down on that wolf." "Don't boast about your ability, Riki. I am afraid that you might fall victim to the wolf one day if you are not careful," advised Mrs. Betty. Riki dared not reply. "Mrs. Betty, I think I'd better go home now. My parents will be worried about me," said Riki. "Do not go back now. Wait till evening when the wolf has gone back to his den," said Mrs. Betty. "It's dangerous to go home now, Riki." Riki insisted on going home. "Don't worry, I can take care of myself," said Riki while waving goodbye to Mrs. Betty and Danny. "Goodbye." "Be careful, Riki." "Goodbye," said Danny. Mrs. Betty and Danny reluctantly let Riki go. On the way home, Riki walked carefully. He knew the wolf was somewhere around. Suddenly, the wolf appeared in front of Riki and chased after him. Riki ran as fast as he could along the path. Unluckily for Riki, he fell into a hole. "Help! Help!" yelled Riki inside the hole. The wolf looked into the hole. Riki was very afraid to see the angry wolf staring at him. "Now you're afraid. When you were playing a trick on me just now, you were brave," snarled the angry wolf. "Be ready to be my dinner, little sheep," said the wolf gleefully. Riki screamed in fear. Suddenly, they heard a very fierce growl. The wolf was so afraid that he ran away. Riki was left alone in the hole. He grew even more afraid. He closed his eyes and started crying. "Grrr! Oh no! A tiger!" Then Riki heard a voice. "Are you all right, Riki?" Riki opened his eyes. There were Mrs. Betty and Danny at the edge of the hole. "Don't be afraid, Riki. It was my mother who made the sound of a tiger to frighten away the wolf," said Danny. "You are safe, Riki. Let us help you out." Mrs. Betty and Danny pulled Riki out of the hole. "I am sorry, Mrs. Betty. I will not be boastful anymore. I will listen to my parents," said Riki. Riki promised to be good from then on. Mrs. Betty and Danny were very happy that Riki had learnt his lesson.